What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another trade recap. Today's video is filmed on the 9th of October 2025. I took one setup on 5 out of my 21 accounts just because I secured my profits on the other accounts. I'm up 2% already on the week, so I want that payout. So I'm only trading 5 today. And yeah, I wasn't trading yesterday just because we had FOMC. I don't like to trade FOMC. Last 3 of the FOMC that we had, I took a trade and I lost. So technically, I'm on a 3 FOMC losing streak. I haven't traded FOMC for 2 months now. I'm feeling better. I just take that day off, hop off the charts. Just I don't even look at the chart. Don't do anything. Don't trade. Just take the day off. Come back the next day stronger and catch a TP, such as today. So I took one setup. I'm up around 1,800. So that's 1.1% on my 5 accounts. And here is proof for the pocket watchers. I don't know if it's inverted. I'll just put it right here instead of their second space. But anyways, here's the PNL. I'm gonna go over the trade recap today. I'll do daily bias, trade recap, trade execution, and confluences. Everything you need just to understand how I saw the markets today and see it in a perspective of a profitable trader, I'd say. So let's get into it. Before we get started, I'm gonna go over the daily bias. I'm gonna go over everything that I did, and by the way, no drawings, just because I want to break down everything in front of you as if I'm doing it and I'm trading on the charts. So coming into the day, obviously we're at all-time highs, and we've been at all-time highs since fucking September, I think. So usually every single time we have all-time highs, my bias is clear bullish. I'm bullish until proven wrong. And what do I mean by until proven wrong? Until proven wrong means that if we invert a higher time frame fair value gap, such as this 4 hour or this 4 hour, I know that okay, NQ is gonna tell me a story that okay, I'm delivering off a higher time frame fair value gap. We're delivering lower. We're going lower, and this is where I have the go or the okay to take a setup, and which is a short setup, because I only take longs during all-time highs. Don't like shorting all-time highs, especially when we're 70 points away. So I'd rather wait for a rebalance and then take the trade to higher. So all I wanted today was longs, and it was very obvious. I was looking at that 4 hour fair value gap and this one as well that was on top. And I preferred those fair value gaps that are on top, because the more tapped a fair value gap is, the less it has value. And this is a quote not just on the charts in life. So I always want to see lower fair value gap, especially when these are tapped, and we have a lot of cases like this, especially at all-time highs. So I wanted to see that 4 hour fair value gap get traded into, and then probably take a setup not to all-time highs, because I'm not going to be there taking setups, taking 130 point setups. So I only take setups rebalancing gaps and target higher probability setups, lower or high win rate, and this is what we aim for. So this was on the 4 hour. Now back to the 1 hour. Let me just put the time right. 1 second. I'm sorry for the delay. I'll just put the time at 9:30. So that's 9. That's yeah. So as you can see, we tapped it right here. 1 second. Let me just do it again. 9:30. So on the 1 hour, nothing was clear. Nothing was necessarily that clear. We were just delivering off of this 1 hour fair value gap, but still delivering off that one hour fair value gap. Don't mind this candle. And this is the 4 hour that I wanted to see. And then we go lower to the 15 minute, and those are the gaps that I really like, because look at this huge range on the 4 hour that we have. It's just huge. It's a huge fair value gap. It's a 70 point fair value gap. So I just want to know the perfect time when to know that okay, we might have a setup right here, the highest probability setup that we can get. So I always go on lower time frames. I look at gaps that are inside those lower time frames, and today we had this 15 minute that was a 15 minute right before we tapped the fair value gap. So this was the 15 minute that I was looking at. I wanted to see that 15 minute get traded into, plus this 4 hour. And on talking about previous sessions, I always look at my previous sessions. I always look what Asia and London did. So here, this is the indicator that I use, by the way, and those are the settings. I only look at Asia and London. We had London highs. 1 second, let me turn it back on. We had London highs and we had Asia highs. Very obvious. So I wanted to see us maybe trade lower into London lows and then get the trade into London highs. And this was before 9:30. Let me just place right here. We were here. I wanted to see us trade lower into London lows and then maybe take a trade higher if we reject London lows. If no rejection of London lows, I wanted to see this level get traded into. I wanted to see this 4 hour and this 15 minute get traded into. Very clear bias. And then probably take a setup the other way around. So very clear bias coming into the day. I wanted to see something very clear, and we were trading inside the 50 point range, so obviously a manipulation was bound to happen. It was very clear that we were going to get a manipulation, because here we were accumulating, and as you know, the AMD model, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So this was accumulation. I was just waiting for a manipulation to take my distribution into something. So back to the 5 minute, nothing again was clear, so we played price to the front, and shit, we missed the setup. We played price to the we played price here, and this is where I said that okay, we might have something. We were opening up this 5 minute, and this is the 5 minute that I was looking at. It was a very nice 5 minute. We had this 4 hour fair value gap, and we had this 15 minute fair value gap to get traded into. Plus something I forgot to mention was that I don't know if you can see ES, but I'll just go over ES right here. ES was right here at 9:30, so we got ES open higher, make an SMT at London highs. So we had SMT at London and had SMT at Asia, so we didn't want to necessarily see them. Very nice SMT from here to this high, and this was kind of indicating the move that okay, we're probably going to manipulate lower, probably going to see lower, but still I wasn't willing to short just because all-time highs was right here, 80 points away, so I don't like shorting that low of a range. So we opened up this 5 minute right here, and as you can see, we went lower, started going lower from this 5 minute, and tapped this 4 hour gap, and then retapped this 15 minute gap. And this is where I wanted to take my setup. I was probably about to take this 1 minute inversion, but we didn't get the inverse. We got a resweep, which is very nice, and something very, very important that I was looking at was that ES. I don't know if you look at ES, just 1 second. If you look at ES was going to Asia. ES was heading to Asia at the same time. So we had ES trade to Asia, and I waited. I think we got the resweep just because we wanted to wait for ES to take Asia lows. This is the sweep here. We didn't take Asia lows right here. We took Asia lows right here. So I wanted to see ES take Asia lows just because it was delivering off of London and Asia highs. So we were about to go down, deliver off of Asia. We were also opening up a 5 minute on ES, which is very nice to see. So this is the setup that I took. Back here, we got a very nice resweep. And I love those resweeps, especially when we get turtle soups like this, like just a sweep and a rejection. We got a very nice turtle soup, and usually when we get a very nice turtle soup and we have zero legs, zero fair value gaps on the new manipulation leg that swept liquidity, we didn't have a 1 minute, we didn't have a 30-second. I always like to go for a turtle soup. I always like to go for a soup. So what I did was hop on the 15-second chart and look at this fair value gap that we had. This was the fair value gap that we had, and we had a very clear break even. So I waited for this fair value gap to inverse, a very clear break even, which is a high inside the 1 minute gap. So I went BE right here, and this 5 minute was my initial target. Obviously I think we also had an SMT right here, and plus all of that, ES still didn't tap into this 4 hours, so we had SMT inside this whole 4 hour fair value gap. So, to recap, because I think I said things very fast, to recap, sorry again, we missed the setup. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my trading view today, but anyways, we opened up this 5 minute. This was the 5 minute that I was looking at. Obviously, if we're going to go lower, I didn't care. I just wanted to see us go higher, rebalance higher time frame fair value gaps after we tap and sweep liquidity. So, we swept liquidity. We made an SMT, a huge SMT inside this 4 hour gap. So, SMT inside the higher time frame PD array. And then made a new manipulation leg after we got a sweep, and then while making that leg we had SMT, so I'll show you right now. So this is our SMT externally, and then internally we made an SMT inside this 4 hour gap again at the 15 second. I think when NQ was going higher, ES was just going lower, and I'll show you now. As you can see right here, this was our SMT. Look at these two lows, we had SMT at these lows. So this kind of also pushed my bias higher just because ES swept Asia. We tapped into a 4 hour, we tapped into that 50 minute, got the perfect rejection, got the resweep, another leg made. So didn't make a 1 minute, didn't make a 30-second. So I said to myself that okay, I don't want to miss this setup, so I'll go on the 15-second, I'll look at the first inversion that we get and I'll take it. So it's technically a turtle soup if we're trading the 15-second time frame. But still, when BE right here, very clear BE, it's a high inside of 1 minute. So if we want to reject, if we want to see lower, this is where we should reject from and not rebalance. But price was pushing in a beautiful way to the upside. We got the inverse on this, not on this candle, the candle after. I took my setup on 2 cones, just right here. And then just slight delay from the Wi-Fi, but this was the setup that I took. Stop was at the lows, risking around 0.5%, and TP was at the highs for 1,800. I got my entry slightly lower, just because I pressed as soon as we inversed, and then we got the move, a slight move down, and then we got a move up. Went higher, traded to my break even, beautiful push. And then something that I wanted to do right here is that we had this 1 minute fair value gap that was here. So I set a limit at a 1-to-1 exactly, because this was the setup that I took. Just let me put it back. So this is the SMT at the lows. Sorry, I'm doing this all over again so you understand fully. And this is the 5 minute that I was targeting, because obviously we target on-field fair value gaps, which is a very nice. And also I got a very nice risk to reward on the setup. So I wanted to add to my position just because I had a very nice and low entry with a very good RR. So I wanted to add to that. So I put my stop to the lows and TP to the highs, and then I set my limit at a 1-to-1. As you can see, this is a 0.72 RR. I put my limit at a 1-to-1 right here, but we didn't get a retest, we didn't move back down, so this was something I kind of faded. So I removed the limit as soon as he stopped the 5 minute, because he stopped the 5 minute before NQ did. But I was still very confident in the move, I was still very confident in the setup. Very nice setup right here. And you might ask yourself, why didn't you take the 1 minute inversion? Why didn't you wait for the 1 minute to inverse to get confirmation? Guys, when we have such clear, first of all, when you say the setup in your head, kind of manifest it and say that, okay, I want to see lower and then I want to target that 5 minute. When you do that and you're that confident, this is number one. So conviction beats anything when you're confident and have conviction. Number two, we tapped into a 4 hour, we tapped into a 15 minute, we got the turtle soup, SMT at the lows, externally and internally. What more do I need for me to know that, okay, we're gonna go rebalance that 5 minute? What more do I need? You ask yourself that question, and then to ask yourself this. And this is why I didn't take the 1 minute inverse, because obviously you add experience also, but you add all of those confluences together. Like, let's say we have a trade with 5 confluences that are A plus, okay, they're A plus, but 5 confluences, and then we have a fucking 3 minute inverse. And then they say a 3 minute inverse, the higher time frame the inversion, the more the highest probability the trade is. But you have 5 confluences on a 3 minute inverse. But then on the other hand, on the other example, you have 10 confluences that are A plus on a 1 minute inverse. I'd rather take the 1 minute inverse just because we have more confluences stuck together. And here, we literally had everything. We tapped into a higher time frame PD array. We tapped into another higher time frame PD array. We rejected, got the resweep, made a turtle soup at the resweep, and then SMT at the resweep, SMT externally inside the 4 hours. So add all of those. It's such a clear way for me to know that, okay, at least we're gonna go and rebalance that 5 minute, and this is all I need, because it's a 1 to 2 or something we barely see with this model. So but still I'm trying to refine it to get higher or and it's apparently working. So we got the move up, very nice move up, and then just bang, and look at this fucking top tick and the exit and bottom tick entry. Not bottom tick, but still a very nice setup, a very nice trade that I took. So again, to recap it, I always like to target on-field fair value gaps, but then to recap it, we went higher on ES during 9:30 AM open. So ES opened higher, we got a Judas swing, we swept London highs and we swept Asia highs on ES, so made the SMT on that, and then this kind of pushed the move lower inside this 4 hour gap. So kind of accumulation, manipulation, distribution, but not full distribution, just because we're very bearish on the day, and every single time we're coming to all-time highs. Opening 9:30, we're getting the rejections, we're getting the moves down, and it happened like it's third or fourth time it happens this week. But still, a very clear setup. 4 hour rebalance, 15 minute rebalance, SMT inside this 4 hour, SMT inside this 15 minute. Plus we had SMT internally on the 15-second time frame with a turtle soup. Sorry, excuse my Wi-Fi. With the turtle soup, that was a very nice resweep, and then we soup the high, soup the low. Sorry, target the high, perfect exit, target the 5 minute, and that's my day. And this was the trade recap for you guys. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop a comment. If you like the video and learned something, drop a like. I'll see you on the next one, and as always, bang shabab.